Hi everyone, and welcome back to video number 5, where today we are going to be looking at adding a countdown timer to OBS. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, a countdown timer, that's kind of meaningless. There are a lot of practical applications that you can have for a countdown timer, including maybe you're doing a turn and talk, or maybe you're doing a breakout room with some students, and you want students to know to be back at a certain time. It's possible for you to have a countdown timer constantly running in the background. Maybe you want to have a visual reminder about when to come back from a recess or a break or from daily physical activity. So the countdown timer can be a pretty powerful tool put onto any type of scene that you have. And the purpose of this video is to show you how to do that. So this is a little bit different than what we've done in some of the other videos, simply because the countdown timer itself is actually an extension to OBS. So it's not something that's already pre-built in. So what we're going to do is walk through the steps on how to get the timer onto your computer and then how to actually get it into OBS and working, okay? So let's head on over to Google. You'll remember the last video we talked about transitions and stuff. So just for fun, let's run a transition and head on over to the web. So here is the web that we are looking at right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into Google, and the first thing that you need to do is you need to download the timer itself. So in order to do that, you're going to go to Google and you're going to type in OBS timer. It's going to bring up a number of different things for you, and the one that you're looking for is called free countdown timer or stream timer in the OBS forum. I've actually copied this web address right here, and I'm going to post it at the end of the video so that way you have it. So step number 1 is click on this countdown timer. And what you're going to notice is that this is what the timer interface is going to look like. Again, it's going to run separately from OBS, and I'll walk you through all of these steps, so on and so forth. But this is the timer that you want. You can see that you can program hours, minutes, seconds. You can have some text that's going to happen as well as the timer counts down to the end. There's also a brand new addition to it that you can have a sound play. And I'll walk you through how to do the sound part with it, how to change the sound. But first, let's get it onto our computer. So what you want to do is you want to click on this Go to Download button. So click on Go to Download. And you very well may get a pop-up that looks like this, where it's going to show you that this is a zipped file. It's called streamtimer3.rar. RAR means that it is a zipped file, which means you're going to have to download it and extract some stuff. So if you click on this download button right here, it's going to allow you to save this to your computer and or your hard drive. I already have it downloaded, so it is already there. So you would simply click on save, and then once you click on save, it's going to pop up down here to show you that it's done. And before you can work with it, you have to extract it. So what we do to extract a zip file, Google Chrome already has something built in. Your laptop probably already has something built into it as well. But I'm going to show in folder. So what I did was click on this little drop-down arrow, click on show in folder, and it's going to bring me exactly where the stream timer is located. Now, again, what I said was I've already have mine open, but I'll walk you through how to do this. If you right-click on the file that's there, you're going to get the option to extract the files. So you're going to click on extract files. And when you click on extract the files, it's going to ask you where you want them to be put. So just make sure it's in whatever folder you want them to be and click OK. Once that is done, you're going to notice 3 brand new files in your computer. The first one is going to be called stream timer. The second one is going to be called timer. And then there's going to be a sound, which is going to be called, I believe it's called end sound, if I'm not mistaken. There should be, I think it might be called end, and we'll get to that in a second and show you how to change that. So here's what you do now. Now that it's stored on your computer, you're going to go back into OBS. And I'm going to bring you over to the good morning scene because that seems to be the one that we've been using a lot. So let's do a transition over to the good morning scene. Again, remember that your students are going to see what's inside this box. You're doing everything else in the back end. That fades out, allows me to bring up the good morning scene. And what I want to do here is I want to click on add. And this is a little bit different. You're going to click on this that says text GDI plus. And I'm going to call this new timer. And then once you've got this up, this little properties window, you need to click on this button right here that says read from file. So if I click on that, it's going to ask me to find the file right here under browse. I click on browse. And then what I want to do is I want to bring up this guy right here. It's called timer and it's called txt, timer.txt. So if I click on that and hit open, you can see that there is a time already attached to it right there, 3 minutes and 29 seconds. I hit OK, and there's my timer that's brought up. Now I'm just going to put it wherever I want it to be. So maybe I'll put it in the bottom corner or in the top corner, wherever it is that you want to locate it, right in the middle. Let's go right in the middle. And then once that's there, how you work the timer is pretty simple. You're going to go back to where you downloaded the timer from, and you're going to click on the timer button. And you'll end up with something that looks like this little interface popping up. Now, this is the one that I've already pre-installed. So let me just make sure that it's in the exact same location. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Don't do what I'm doing because, like I said, I already have one installed. I don't want them to conflict with each other. So I'm going to add my pre-existing timer, and it will look exactly the same as what we just had. So there it is right there. Now what I want to do is I want to open the interface, and then I'm going to add whatever time I want on it. So maybe I log into the classroom. Maybe class starts at 9 o'clock and I log in at 8:50. Well, that gives me 10 minutes. And I hit start. And then what happens is your timer automatically starts and begins to count down. Now, what I've done is I've actually pinned this stream timer to my desktop right down here. I'll show you how to do that. And just close all of these things. You're going to get the timer that's located right here. I believe it's timer CFG. And you're going to drag it down into the taskbar. And you should be good to go from there. All right, now let's talk about again. Oh, I clicked on the timer again. Whoops. Let's talk real quickly about when would you use this. So once you have the timer inside of your classroom on one scene, much like any of the other scenes that we have, it is simply a copy, Control-C, and a paste onto wherever it is that you want to put it. So maybe you have your students doing some independent work, for instance, and you're on a black screen. You can have the timer up and running to let them know how much time they have before you're going to be coming back. Maybe it's break time. So you've created a brand new scene that's called break time. And it allows you to have the timer running in the background so the students can see when to come back from break or at lunchtime as well. Maybe you've got a lunchtime scene where students can see how much time they have left for lunch. So my friends, this is adding a countdown timer to OBS. And I did mention I'm going to get rid of my email contact here, and I'm going to bring up the address button in case you needed it. So if you take a look down here, You can see that's where I took it from. If you go to Google and you just type in OBS timer, this should be one of the very first ones that pop up. If it's not, then just take and copy this over into a URL and you should be go with getting that timer set up for you to use. Once again, if you have any issues, any questions, you are more than welcome to email me at the email address down below, and I will help you with any of the setup or walk you through some of the steps that you might need to have if you can't rewatch the video or something's not making sense. All right, thanks very much for watching video number 5. Video number 6, I believe, is going to be all about tying things together and putting it into Google Meet. So once you've done all the front loading, we're going to be putting it into Google Meet for you to use with your students so they can see exactly what it is that you're going to be doing. We'll catch you in the next video. Thanks very much for tuning in.